I'm honored to speak about my father-in-law today, just from my personal experiences. And I'm not a writer, so please bear with me. I remember the first time I met Roy. I came to their house, and I believe we were unannounced. And immediately, Roy and Marilyn asked if I would like to stay for supper. And Roy made what Ian and I think is his famous curry chicken. And I was talking away with Roy, and he found out I had a little bit of Ukrainian in me and knew a little bit about the history of Ukrainians in Alberta. And we somehow were debating about who bought the first property in this area. And Roy just left the room and came back with a book and proved that the Chichkowskis were the very first Ukrainians to buy property here in Alberta. And his pride in his heritage and his childhood home was made very clear to me that day. So I think it's so fitting that we are here today. And from that first meeting, Roy and Marilyn included me and welcomed me into their family. And without fail, Roy quietly and unassumingly supported me and Ian through the years, often with very simple, kind gestures. And just a few examples of memories that flashed through my head this week include him introducing me to the store Princess Auto, buying me my first toolkit, and I was in Princess Auto yesterday, and he was channeling my inner Roy. He always would turn up the temperature in their home when I came over because I liked to be warm at a steady 22 all the time, and he would give me slippers to wear. And he always made sure I had a full glass of wine. Over the years, Roy helped Ian and I with numerous renovations, and his unbelievably perfect work saved us countless hours of time and money. When my children were born, or when our children were born, Roy and Marilyn became even more entwined in our lives and volunteered to provide childcare for our girls so I could go back to university and eventually back to work. Roy would even drive me to school and pick me up so I could save on parking money and be back in time to feed baby Kalena. I can still picture Roy being at our door at 7 in the morning, greeting all of us with a smile, ready to chat and play finger games with the girls as they ate breakfast. And anyone that knows Roy and who's been around, or their kids have been around Roy, it's we would hear that sound, and I'm going to miss that sound. Where was I? When my oldest daughter was young, Roy would spend countless hours reading to her, and when he would fall asleep, she would bash her head back, and he would begin reading again. And he loved taking my youngest, Nora, to her favorite bakery every single day after preschool, and they would eat cinnamon buns and drink milk together. Him and Marilyn would attend every single concert, game, performance that they could of our girls, and were emphatic cheerleaders for whatever the girls were doing. Roy always brimming with pride. He spent many, many hours at our neighborhood park just watching the girls play. I'm kind of going a different route right now. When I first met Ian and heard about the sailing club, I really had no idea what he was talking about, honestly. Like, I would hear words like regatta and sail week, cock of the walk. These were terms completely unfamiliar to me. And after our girls were born, when Roy and Marilyn asked us to join Sail Week, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. But the wonderful community that Roy and Marilyn built for their children at the lake and extended to their grandchildren is a wonderful legacy and have created some of our most treasured family moments. I know Roy loved watching the girls learn how to sail, sleep in their trailer, and compete in the Wobbleman Olympics. He always had money for the girls for ice cream o'clock, and this is a bit of a funny story. Until late last night when we were watching the slideshow, we thought that Nora's first ice cream was on a trip with this fine family on vacation, and she was older. at the time, and then we were watching the slideshow, and I was like, oh look, there is baby Nora having ice cream with Roy. So Roy gave Nora her first ice cream when she was quite young. She seems to be just fine. Most of all, I know Roy loved that our girls got to spend time